Distributed ledger technology, or DLT, is a fintech technology that allows peer-to-peer or P2P interactions between investors. This facilitates and expedites the investor's ability to track ownership data, effectively replacing financial intermediaries. Further, distributed ledger technology has contributed to the enhancement of financial record keeping. DLTs can also apply smart contracts, which are automatically executed when the terms of the underlying contract between the parties are met. A DLT is characterized by its accuracy, transparency, and security. However, some of its shortfalls include possible privacy breaches and the need for a lot of electronic power or energy to verify the transactions. To ensure security and data protection, DLT relies on cryptography, which is an algorithm that encrypts the data so that it cannot be deciphered by unauthorized parties. For a DLT to work, it needs a digital ledger, a confirmation consensus mechanism, and a participant network. A DLT is based on a distributed ledger, which is a type of database where data or transactions are recorded, stored and shared by the participants through a network. One type of digital ledger is the blockchain, which records information such as changes in ownership. When two parties enter into a transaction, it is communicated via computers or nodes within the network. Its details must be validated through the consensus mechanism. Then, the transaction information is encrypted using cryptography and is recorded along with other transactions on a block of data, which is chained or securely linked to a previous block. The consensus mechanism allows the formation of unmodifiable and transparent records that are accessible to all participants in near real time. The verification of any transaction requires that miners, or some computers in the network, solve a cryptographic problem. For a third party to manipulate or change any data, it needs to control the majority of the computer nodes and therefore requires significant computing power and complexity. So, the larger the network, the more secure it becomes. There are two types of DLT networks: permissionless networks and permissioned networks. The DLTs we described earlier are permissionless. They give access to all participants in the network to view existing transactions on the blockchain and perform all the functions. So, there is no need for a centralized authorization to validate a transaction. Every network participant has a copy of the database. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are examples of permissionless networks. In a permissioned network, some activities are restricted to some participants. For example, certain participants can add transactions while others are only allowed to view selective details of the transactions. Find the full distributed ledger technology video on www.cognivisio.com.